Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd, and this is a pattern by Deborah Atkinson, and she's known as the Snowcatcher, and she's from Denver, Colorado. Now, my friends at AllFreeCrochet.com got in touch with me to say if I could get filming rights in order to film one of her tutorials. And so we've already been working on her tutorial stuff already, so now we're just going to concentrate on making snowflakes. Now, what you see online for her, this is actually, I just put this on a piece of paper and I made the writing a little bit bigger, me in my old age of 37 years old. I made it bigger so I could see it better. And what I did is, what she did here is basically, this is like frozen in time. So she's done this special pin technique, pinning it down and gluing on both sides, and then she's added glitter, which you really can't see in this picture. So what we're going to do here is that video shows you how to harden it, but now let's actually concentrate on making some of her snowflakes. So in behind, look at that, we have our snowflake, and I've not yet hardened it at this time, but I have pinned this in an area up here in order to show you what it will look like. Now, just because Deborah puts it like this doesn't mean you have to. It's like a guideline, right? So if you think that this would be displayed in a better way, it's your creativity, go for it. So on behalf of Deborah Atkinson, the Crochet Crowd, and AllFreeCrochet.com, we'd like to present you how to do this snowflake. What you should know, everybody, is that the tutorial you're about to see is done in the wrong size thread with the wrong size hook. And I've done that on purpose because it's very difficult to be able to film some of the stuff with the really thin material in order to see clarity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be increasing my yarn size, but if I was actually to do this on my own, I would use like this Koigu yarn, K-O-I-G-U, and it's a specialty high-end yarn as seen in Vogue Knitting, and it's really fantastic stuff. You could also go with white, but I like to be a little bit artistic, choose something that's kind of uncommon, sprinkle it with glitter, and then off to you go. So today what we're going to be working with is the Burnet Mosaic, and this stuff is a lot thicker. I'm also going to be using my size G hook in order to complete this. So again, just follow her directions on being able to find the right material, and again, by replacing the hook and the yarn with something bigger, you'll have a bigger, much bigger, actually, snowflake. To start the snowflake, you just need your string that's coming from your yarn ball, and we want to wrap it around our finger twice. Okay, so I always say this is the back of the hand forward. Okay, so we want to take the one that's in the back, so if I raise up, you can see I'm kind of grabbing it down here to give it some tension, just like you see. Now you're going to take the back over the forward, and now grab that one and push up and over, and now just slip in your size G hook, and again, this is the mosaic yarn. So she's calling for a chaining of 6. Now this one here does not ever count as 1, so let's grab our material and pull it through. For 1, grab again, 2, grab again, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and so now we want to create the ring just like you see in the center. So taking your hook, just put it into the very first stitch you started with, just like so, grabbing the material and pulling it through and through, and now just being able to see your center ring just like so. So that is the very first step, and you can see that I'm automatically just moving this string as if it's part of the ring because we want to be able to hide the starting point. So let's move along to your next step. Now Deborah's saying here in the next round to 12 single crochet, but what you should actually do is just chain up 1 from this point and now single crochet. So just going into the center of the ring and just making sure that the straggler, which is the loose end, stays on top of the actual ring, and just grabbing that material, pulling it through. So now you got 2 in your hook. Okay, so there is 1. Okay, whoops, that was a double crochet, sorry. Let's try that again. So just keep going in so you actually get 12 all the way around. So just single crochet 12. Okay, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, you can see I'm trapping that into position. 7. So it's 8, 9, 10, 11, and one more, and you might have to move everything because you are going around the center, everything's movable, and this is 12. And at the very last one here, just slip into your hook to the very first one that you started with and pull that material. This is called a slip stitch. Pull it through and through, and there's your next piece. So now that you've been able to successfully put that into position there, you can actually cut this string, so in the next take you will not see that string because I'm just going to cut it right where it comes out. Okay, so what Deborah's asking for now is she's asking to chain 1, okay, and we want to single crochet into the very first one, so in the first one there, single crochet, and now we're going to be chaining 8, and what we're doing is we're creating the actual interior of this flower kind of shape. So let's create 8, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and now she wants us to skip the stitch on there. So this is where it's coming out of, just like there. We want to skip that one and go into the second one over. Okay, so we want an actual total of 6 of these little petal shapes. So we're just going to single crochet that into position, just like so. So let's do it again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, and now we're going to skip one on the base there and go single crochet into the next one. Okay, so continue to do that all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Skip and go to the next. So continue to do that all the way around. We'll meet back up and you should have, if you've done it correctly, you should end up with 6 of these petal shapes. So continuing all the way around, we're just about to do our last one, and we want to slip it right into the very, see how these kind of come into the same stitch? Well, we want to do that at the very beginning one as well. So just coming down underneath, okay, and just coming through and single crochet into position. And now what we want to do is bind off. And the reason why we're binding off is, see how we're ending in between the actual stitches? You don't see that we've started off anywhere there, so we have to actually bind off on this level here in order to actually move to the proper area when we start up. So just cutting it, moving your hook out, and what we should just do is just weave it into the edge, just like so. So just do your weaving technique, and we have how to change colors using weaving technique as well, or just follow exactly what I'm doing. So I'm just sticking my hook into the actual chain as on one of the rotations and pulling the material through. So I got about an inch there, so what I'm going to do is now safely cut that. So let's get my fancy dancy scissors out. Okay, and now we have your 6. So let's move on to your next step. Okay, the next row that we have is the most deceptive area. It actually took me a long time to understand what she was asking for, but what we're actually going to be doing is we're going to be joining it on a tip. You can pick any tip, but what we're doing now is that we're actually going to be coming across, we're actually going to be doing this loop here and then going around. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing in this particular round. It took me a long time to understand how this loop is formed, because this is the second last one before we actually finish our project, the second last row I should say, because the last one we're going to come along and do all this configuration. So let's begin on a tip. We'll create the chain, create the loop. And we want to start our next bind on, so we're going to actually fasten it on, so just do your slip knot as normal, just like so, and stick in your hook. And now let's grab your snowflake here. So let's, we're just going to stick it in at the top of any one of the ones. You can decide which one you want to go, and just wrap the 2 pieces of material around there and just pull that through. Okay, so we kind of did a single crochet fasten on idea, like so. And you can actually safely cut that straggler as well if you want to. So what Deborah is asking for now, she's asking for a chain of 13. So let's do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, and 13. And now what she's asking for is slip stitch in 10 from the hook. So this doesn't not count as 1, so we want to now count backwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So she wants the 10th, and so now what you want to do is stick in your hook in the 10th, just like so, grabbing the material, pulling it through and through. And now, does that look familiar? Does that look familiar, everybody? You see that you're getting that same loop like you see there? And now she wants us to chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And now she wants us to come into the next one available, so the next bad boy over here, coming into it and single crocheting. So do you see that? So we actually have them forming across, and then we have the loop going up and around. So let's try that again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13, and now Deborah's asking to go to the 10th one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Slipping in your hook on the 10th. Just a single slip stitch it through. So there's your loop. And now 1, 2, and 3. And now come into the very next one available. So in actual fact, I'm actually got this turned the wrong way. So I noticed that during my actual prototyping as well, that I was having that error. So again, single crochet it to the next one up. So let's do it again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. And now let's count 10 back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So there's my 10th. Slipping in your hook in the 10th. Grabbing the material through and through. And now 1, 2, and 3. And now go into the next one. So the next petal, just single crochet it. So are you starting to see the pattern come alive right in front of your eyes? So let's do that again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now you could do crochet markers and actually mark that spot, but I find it's just probably faster just to count backward. So slip that through, and now 1, 2, and 3. And now join to the next one there. So you just got to make sure this material is not twisting in your hand, so you go in the wrong direction. And do it again. So keep doing that, everybody, as you go around. And what we're going to do is I'll meet you back up before we actually finish this entire round. So we only have one more round to go after this one. Okay, so I did my last one, and now all I need to do is just slip it, stitch it with the actual very first one that we started with. So just come in and through and through. Okay, so that's how we begin. And now let's begin our next part of this thing. So this is the very last line that we're about to do next. This is how fast the project actually works.